now some interesting news from the world of combat sports involves one Bryce Mitchell. Now, whenever I say there's a new story involving Bryce Mitchell, you never know where it could actually lead. It could be him putting a power saw through his private parts. It could be him calling Hitler a good guy, which he did earlier this year. But today is a weird one. So he hops on Instagram, I believe. He made an Instagram post, and he says that he does not like Trump at all. Now, keep in mind, he said in 2019 he would beat up politicians for Trump. Just last year, he said he would take a bullet for Trump, but now he has seemingly made a 180. He says, and I quote, "The first thing for me was he didn't release the Epstein files. They're even acting like they didn't exist. And of course, they're sending Israel and Ukraine all of our tax dollars, just like the numbnuts before him did, putting America last. And now he's blaming the beef farmers for the price of beef." Mitchell then says, "Hey, I'm not biased, man. He talked a good game. He tricked me. I was fooled. I admit it." But then he continues and says, "I want y'all, if you're a Christian, I want you to get into Revelation 13:3, and I want you to read the verse. Yeah, about the Antichrist, about the one who was fatally wounded in the head. Then he was miraculously healed, and the whole world marveled and said, no man can make war with him." Yeah, I do think that Donald Trump is that beast of Revelation 13:3. Yeah, go read it. Go read it. And we've got the full video. It's got 44,000 likes, about 5,000 comments so far on his Instagram page. And again, I must reiterate, Bryce Mitchell put a power drill through his ball sack a couple years ago and said 12 months ago that he would take a bullet for Donald Trump, and is now calling him the Antichrist. So, I mean, I bring all this up just to say, like, Bryce is not a smart guy. In fact, I would go as far to say he's pretty stupid. But it's something. There's something meaningful when the dumbest person on the roster comes to a conclusion like this. Now, obviously, I don't think that Donald Trump is the Antichrist. I don't think most people would call Donald Trump the Antichrist. But this reversal, right, and Bryce Mitchell flipping on Donald Trump is, I don't know. It's just something to think about. It's something to think about, that an incredibly vocal supporter of Trump, someone who really doesn't have the political savviness or intelligence to read between any lines, is coming to the conclusion that, ooh, I don't know about this. I don't think I'm with that guy anymore. There's just something to think about. Now, I don't know if that is really too meaningful in any way, shape, or form. But I would say this: I'd love to be a fly on the wall for 3 days ago, or rather, when we put this episode out, it'll be closer to a week ago. Like what Bryce Mitchell was thinking when he recorded and posted this, right? Just like what was the sequence of synapses firing in his brain that said, let's record this video, call Trump the Antichrist, and toss that on social media? Because now you've got Fox News running with it, you've got Yahoo Sports running with it, you've got the Huffington Post building articles and reporting on this as if it's news. I mean, like, look, I don't think that a guy like Bryce Mitchell deserves this much mainstream coverage, right? Because I think the problem with all these outlets catching on to this story and circulating it is, I think some people might assume that Bryce Mitchell is someone that you could generalize the entire UFC roster off of, right? Like, oh, this UFC fighter does a 180 on Trump. You might be like, oh, that's kind of like how they all think. I want to reiterate again, there is quite literally nobody like Bryce Mitchell. The dude put a drill through his balls. There is nobody like him. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. I saw that, wanted to chat about it briefly, and it's very funny that the guy who called Hitler a good dude, said he would take a bullet for Trump, randomly now flips and calls him the Antichrist.